everyone, thank you for watching. Today's video I'm really excited to do. It's going to be for my Shop My Stash series that I do every single month. So how I do my Shop My Stash series, today's video I'm going to go over what I chose out for my bag for last month, go through all the products that I've been trying really consistently, kind of give my thoughts on them, if I'm going to keep them in my collection, what I'm going to declutter. Then I will also show you what I picked out for August. Wild. So I'll go through kind of why I picked out those products for August, and then tomorrow I will do a get ready with me using all the products that I chose out for my August Shop My Stash bag. I like to do those get ready with me's the first Friday of every month, and then the day before is when I do kind of my wrap up video. So I will leave my playlist link down below if you want to catch some of my past Shop My Stash videos. I really love doing them. I've been having a lot of fun with this series. But if you want to see my thoughts on what I thought about my July bag and what's in my August bag, let me go ahead and get started. Okay, one quick thing before we jump into my bag here. I have another video actually that's going up today. It's going to go up in about an hour. So if you're watching right away, it's going up at about 10 a.m. CST, or if you're watching a little bit later, it might already be up. I'm starting a little project for the month of August, and I'm really excited about it, and I hope some of you will join me. I wanted to make a separate video instead of just kind of including it in this video to really kind of explain out the details of it, and I know these videos can get kind of long anyways, so I didn't want to feel like super rushed or anything like that. But make sure to check. I will have a second video going up today to kick off August with. I'm super excited, and I hope some of you will be excited as well and want to do this with me, so stay tuned for that. But to go ahead and jump into my July bag, the product that I chose out, this is from MAC. This is their Fix Plus, but it's their matte version. So basically the spray is supposed to help keep you matte. And I mean, if you can see, I have a lot gone, but I actually do not use this as a setting spray, a finishing spray, a mattifying spray, anything like that. For the majority of this product, I have used it to dampen my brushes when I am doing my eye makeup. And because when I first got it and I first started trying it out, I just wasn't really a fan. I didn't notice it really doing a lot of mattifying. I felt like the spray, like the actual spray, was pretty like thick on my face, and it could kind of disturb my makeup sometimes. So I basically just delegated it to be a brush dampener, if you will. And I've mentioned that before on my channel, and I had someone say to me that they recommend using this as a primer spray. And I thought, okay, sure, like I'll try it out that way. So that's why I threw it into my Shop My Stash bag, because I was like, maybe, you know, I'll try it out that way. Maybe I'll find that I really like it. But I still didn't love it for that. And I think one thing that I don't know if I love for my eyes, so it kind of makes me be like, do I love this for my face? So I don't know if I should love it for my eyes either, is that I feel like it has a pretty intense smell. And I don't know, I feel like the regular Fix Plus like has a scent to it, but this one just like smells different. And I don't know, even when I spray it on my face before I do my makeup, I'm still just kind of like, I don't know about that. So I wasn't loving that, and I didn't feel like I really noticed a lot. I feel like with me, when it comes to primer sprays, because I have dry skin, I really want a hydrating spray, and this is mattifying. I probably should have thought of that prior to this, but I remember like as I kept trying throughout the beginning of the month, I was like, why am I not loving this? Because I have kind of come to enjoy primer sprays. Wet n Wild has the coconut primer spray that I've talked about a lot. Too Faced has their the Hangover RX that I've actually put in a Shop My Stash, and I was like, I actually like it as a primer spray. Those are very hydrating, almost like dewy sprays, which is what I like. So with this one, I just felt like I wasn't getting that like burst of hydration that I prefer. But then at the same time, I didn't necessarily notice that it did any sort of like mattifying for it. Then when I went to go put on my foundation, I still felt like, you know, if I was using a dewy or a luminous foundation, it was still dewy and luminous. Like I didn't notice any sort of the mattifying effects. So I don't know, I still don't love it as a spray for my face. I'll probably, I mean, I just have a little bit left here. I'll probably just continue to use it to dampen my brushes until I'm done with it. But that's about it for the MAC Fix Plus. Those are my thoughts on it, if you will. I love the regular Fix Plus. I love the scented Fix Plus, but that one I just didn't go on to love. I did grab out a regular primer in case I didn't love that one. I wanted to include just kind of a regular primer, and I chose out from YSL the Touche Éclat Blur Primer. I have a little sample here that I got as like a point perk from Sephora, and I used this today. I used this just a few times because I really was trying to make the Fix Plus work. I feel like it makes my skin nice and soft. I notice a little bit of blurring, not a ton, but it really makes my skin feel really soft, which I like. But I have gotten to the point where I like can't get product out. Like you have this little paddle here and I'm trying so hard, and I try to remember if I'm gonna use it to put it upside down, but it's like because the product is so thick, it can just take a long time, and I don't know, I feel like I'm struggling to get this last little bit out. So I don't know if anyone has advice on that, because I feel like I still have like a handful of uses left of this, but I'm just really struggling to get it out right now. But I like this primer. It is very expensive for a primer, and I wouldn't purchase the full sizes of it because I just think that it's fine. I feel like I have other primers that I like a lot more, but like if this was another 100 point perk or a bonus offer or something like that, sure, like I would throw it in because I think that it's nice, but I didn't think it was like mind-blowing, you know what I mean? So yeah, I'm gonna try to finish that one up the best that I can. And then for foundation, I do have a lot of these products on my face today, but this is the foundation that I have on. This is from Charlotte Tilbury. This is the Light Wonder Youth Boosting Perfect Skin Foundation. I'm a big fan of this foundation, especially for summertime. It's really nice and lightweight. It's a little bit more of like a light to medium coverage, which I tend to enjoy. It gives this really nice, just kind of like natural radiance to the skin, which I prefer as well. It comes in this little squeeze tube here. It's plastic packaging. It's really easy. I do a lot of traveling. Like this past weekend, we were out of town for a wedding. I go into the Des Moines area a lot to visit my friends, and I love just being able to take this bag. It really helps me use up my Shop My Stash products. I can throw, you know, anything extra in here that I need, but this is really handy to travel with also, and I just really enjoy it. One of my top favorite summer foundations for sure. I think that it's really nice. So it was nice to get a little bit more use out of that one. Okay, this one I'm gonna declutter, and I've actually mentioned it. I'm trying to think of which video I mentioned it in, but it was sometime during the month that I mentioned this product. And why can't I think of what it is? I should have looked it up. My dog, so I'm filming this on Tuesday. This is gonna go up Thursday. My dog Aries had just a minor surgery today, and I just went and picked her up from the vet, and I'm just trying to keep an eye on her and like kind of keep her calm. And if you know Aries, she's very energetic, so I'm trying to keep her calm. So I feel like my thoughts are kind of like really scattered right now. She's totally okay, and she did great. It was just a little minor surgery and she's okay, but I still feel like I'm kind of like, ah! Like every time I hear her walking, I'm like trying to go out there to make sure she's not like running or jumping, or because she has staples on her chest. So dog mom life, I know. But this is the Colourpop No Filter Concealer. And I mentioned when I pulled it into my Shop My Stash that I just don't love this concealer. A lot of people love this concealer, and I just don't see it. I don't see the hype with it. And I don't know what it is. Like I haven't used this concealer for, I don't know, maybe a week or so. It's been sitting in this bag. But I don't know, can you see like how weirdly it like separates in here? Like it just doesn't even look okay. And by looking at it like this, it makes me feel like I've used up so much product, and I really haven't used this a lot. Like, I don't, does your guys' concealer do that? I don't know, it just like doesn't even look okay. But yeah, I've mentioned that I don't enjoy this concealer. I still don't. I think it emphasizes every single fine line and wrinkle on my under eyes, and I'm 32 and I have a lot of them. I feel like my under eyes just look terrible. When I wear this concealer, it does me no favors. So I don't know, it just doesn't work for me. So I'm just gonna go ahead and declutter it, and just by the looks of it, like that just doesn't even look right. I don't know if mine expired or what happened, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter that one because I don't want to put that on my eyes anymore. Powder, I used the Colourpop No Filter setting powder, so I do have that on today. I just used the Too Faced One This Way concealer because I didn't want to use that Colourpop one, and then I set it with this translucent powder from Colourpop. Like this powder, I wouldn't say it's my most favorite setting powder of the world, but I think that it's fine. I like setting powders, like loose powders that are just like really fine and aren't too like heavy on the skin or like too noticeable with wearing makeup. And I feel like this one is just a little bit heavier than I like it to be, but like it'll do. I feel like it holds on to makeup, you know, pretty well and all that. It does a nice job kind of like mattifying the under eyes too, which I think is nice. So yeah, I think this is a nice powder. I don't think if I went through it I would repurchase it again because I have some others that I'm really loyal to, but it's a pretty decent powder. And then for my bronzer, what I have on today, this is from Urban Decay. This is the Beached Bronzer in Sunkissed. So I hadn't used this bronzer in a while. This used to be a favorite of mine, probably back when I had, you know, only like 4 bronzers instead of the extreme amount of bronzers I have at this moment. So I used to really enjoy this one. It is a matte bronzer. It does almost pull a little bit on the red tone, on like the red side as well, which can kind of give you that like natural sunburnt look, if you will. But I remember there's a couple times that I've used this throughout the month that I felt like it was really kind of grabbing onto my foundation, and it happened with different foundations, because you know I didn't just like wear one foundation throughout the month, but I noticed it happening just a few times. I feel like using a brush like the Benefit Hula brush, or there's one from Real Techniques that looks really similar to that one from Benefit, that almost helps this more to not be so grabby when it comes to applying it, versus a brush like the Sigma F30 is one that I really like to use, or even like the Morphe R2 that kind of have more of a rounded shape. I feel like those kind of, I don't know, those don't work as well with this bronzer. It's not something that I've ever really noticed until I was using it really consistently this month, and I'd have to kind of be aware of what brush that I was going to use. I don't feel like I've ever really had that with another bronzer before, so I don't know. But I still like it. Like, I have it on my cheeks today, and I still like it. I still think that's a nice bronzer. So in the beginning, when I was kind of struggling a little bit, I was like, I think I'm actually going to declutter this one, but as long as I use the right brush, I think that I'm going to be okay with it. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep around my Beach bronzer. For my blush, I chose out this one from Essence. This is with the Silky Touch blush in the shade Baby Doll. So I picked up this blush from Ulta a while back when Essence blushes, I feel like these were being like really hyped up, especially in like, you know, affordable makeup videos. A lot of people were talking about the Essence blushes, and I just haven't reached for this one a lot. I picked up another shade, I've already decluttered it, and I feel like this kind of pinky tone here is just not something I reach for a ton. I've been tending to go for a little bit more neutral blushes as of lately, like the Buxom Seychelles is a nice neutral. Even Colourpop, like Lunar has it in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. I've really been enjoying my Jouer blush duo in Adore, is really nice and just kind of neutral, kind of more of like these pinky tones. I'm just not reaching for quite as much, and again, it's a formula that I'm not overly obsessed with. It's just a blush that I don't reach for a ton, so I think I'm just going to go ahead and declare this one out of my collection as well. Maybe pass it on to someone else that would get a little bit more use out of it than I am. Let's see, I also did grab out a finishing powder. This is from Hourglass. This is their ambient lighting powder in Dim Light, and I got some good feedback on how you guys like to use it, because one reason I pulled it into my Shop My Stash was because I was like, I don't really even understand how I'm supposed to use this, because it's not like a setting powder for your under eyes or even for your face. Like, it's supposed to be your kind of like your last step, your finishing powder to your whole face. I was like, I'm just kind of confused. So I got some good feedback of, you know, basically after I've done everything, just kind of dust this lightly over my face, and it's just supposed to kind of like enhance your makeup look. And I tried it a couple times, but I'm not gonna lie, I didn't reach for this a lot, because I felt like it, more times than not, I felt like it was a step that I didn't need. And once I had my makeup done and I'm at the end of my routine, I'm like, dang girl, you're looking fly. And then I'm like, now I'm supposed to put something else on top of my makeup, and then what if I don't look fly anymore? So I just didn't end up reaching for it a ton. I feel like I'm supposed to declutter this because I didn't reach for it a lot, but it's the only, this is the only like finishing powder I have in my collection, so I kind of want to keep it just in case I have a change of heart someday and I decide I want to be like, I don't know, bad and bougie and use a finishing powder, because so many people speak so highly of this, which is why I have this little mini. But I don't know, I'm gonna keep it around for a little bit longer. Maybe I'll get some more use out of it. That might be a bad decision, but it's my makeup collection, so that's what I'm gonna do. But that was my update on my finishing powder. And then for my highlighter, I had this one here from Covergirl, the True Blend Super Stunner palette in 500, which is It's Lit, and this is for the fair to light skin tones. This is the highlight that I have on today. I will say that I did not do a very good job of using this highlight a lot throughout July, mostly because my collab with Ofra Cosmetics dropped, which was a highlighter. So I was using my highlighter even before the collab announcement, and then after the collab announcement. Like, that was pretty much my most worn, that was my most worn highlighter in the month of July, was my March Beauty Word highlighter that I did with Ofra. If you missed that news, I will definitely have it linked down below. And my highlight and my lip set is going to be available throughout the month of August, which is really exciting to me. It got extended past the initial 2 weeks, which is very, very cool. So I didn't get a ton of use out of this one. I still did use it here and there throughout the month, but not as much as I typically use, especially a highlighter in my Shop My Stash. But it's still a beautiful beautiful highlight palette. It's nice and affordable from Covergirl. You have the 3 different shades in here. The last one does have a little bit of glitter to it. The other 2 really don't. The last one just has a little bit of very fine glitter in it. I have these 2 mixed on my face today. I tend to wear the middle one the most. Sometimes I'll mix it in, and sometimes I'll very lightly tap into this one, but I don't love a ton of glitter in my highlight. And again, it's not too overwhelming, it's not too much, but I did have someone ask me that. I think it was in my Shop My Stash video last month if any of these had glitter, just a little bit in that last one, but still a really nice highlight palette. Just didn't get quite as much love, but still one that I enjoy and would recommend. For my eyeshadow palette, I chose out the Violet Voss Flamingo palette, and I'll insert a few looks of what I did throughout the month. I tried to use this one, you know, as consistently as I could, and I feel like I did some different looks with it. A blue look is what I started out with. I did some pink in there. I do have it on my eyes today with some of the coral shade and also bikini. And I like this palette. It has a mirror in it. It actually did fit okay in my bag, as long as I didn't have a ton of other stuff full of it. I could still fit this into my Shop My Stash bag or my travel bag, so that was nice. It does have a mirror on it, which I thought was good. I was almost a little bit stuck today looking at it and trying to decide what look I was going to do. I was a little bit like, man, I feel like I've used, you know, some of the shades are done, a lot of the different color combinations I could do in here. What could I do now? So that's how I came up with kind of this like purple pink look for today, but I still like it. It's not my most reach for palette, it's not my most used palette, but it's fun to be able to grab something that's a little bit more colorful, which I don't have a ton of in my collection since I'm more of a neutral fan, and something fun to, you know, go outside of the box a little bit, if you will. So yeah, still happy with my Flamingo palette. Still feel like I got some fun looks throughout the month. For my brow pencil, I chose out Benefit Precisely My Brow in 3. I don't have a ton of brow pencils laying about, and I felt like I had used all of the other ones in Shop My Stash video, so I was like, I'm just gonna pull in an Old Faithful here just to have something in my travel bag. And so I grabbed the Precisely My Brow, and I actually used it all the way up. So as I was doing my brows today with this brow pencil, it ran out on me, so luckily it was at the very end, and not like I did one brow and didn't have one for the next brow. But Precisely My Brow is one of my favorite brow pencils. I've repurchased this, I've recommended it for years now, I love it, but I was able to finish that one up in my Shop My Stash, so hey, look at that. And then let's see, for my lashes, so I had chose out kind of a combo here. I have the Lancome Booster XL Primer, and then also the Urban Decay Perversion Mascara. So I wanted to try this because I hear a lot of people say good things about this one from Lancome, and also I've been when I've been wearing mascara more, because I used to wear a ton of lashes, as I've been trying different mascaras, I really point out if I'm getting transferring, smudging, flaking, anything like that. And one of the most common comments that I'm getting is to use a mascara primer with a mascara that transfers on me, and it will help with that. So I thought I would pull that in, because the Urban Decay Perversion, if I wear it for like a really extended amount of hours, I will notice it start to kind of slowly transfer on to my skin. So I thought this could be a good one, and I could try it with some other mascaras that I like, but I noticed that flake on me, and I did not really notice a difference with that factor, which I was kind of bummed about. So I don't know if you guys have another mascara primer that you could recommend that you've noticed that difference with, but again, after like 10 hours or something of wearing this mascara, it would start to transfer. I noticed it with my Colourpop mascara, so that was a bummer. It does make my lashes longer, which is nice. I like that. I can definitely notice them looking, you know, fuller and longer when I use the primer, but I really wanted it for that transfer issue, so I'll keep using it because I just actually opened it at the beginning of July, so I'm still going to keep using it for a while here until it is, you know, past its prime. But I don't know, I was a little bit bummed about that. And then the Urban Decay Perversion, I have a little mini here, and typically with my mascaras in my Shop My Stash series, I just go ahead and declutter these at the end, and I'm just putting, I have a little pile ready to go for the Wands for Wildlife. I'm just gonna go ahead and set this aside for my pile for that. So my eyeliner, I chose one from Marc Jacobs. This is one of the Highliners in Odyssey, which was a nice blue. I thought kind of a colorful eyeliner would pair well with the Flamingo palette. I did get some use out of this. I actually mentioned this also in my Hero Makeup Challenge that I did recently, and when I first pulled it out and started using it, it was almost kind of like it was a little bit dry, and I was like, oh no, like is this like used up, or like am I gonna be able to get any use out of it? But once I kept using it, it seemed to like bounce back, so that was nice. So yeah, I'll still be able to get some uses out of this one, so that's good. Just a nice little colorful liner there. And then for my lip products, I have the Ofra Silk Lip Liner, which is a nice basic pink lip liner. I really like the Ofra lip liners. They are the wooden lip liners. Oh, and I need to sharpen silk once again. And I really like those. I also chose out from Becca. This is the Opal Glow Gloss. So just a nice gloss. It's very sheer, but it has just a little like shimmer in it, if you will. It's not my favorite gloss formula right now. I'm thinking of doing a lip gloss collection / declutter video because I used to not be very into lip glosses. Now I am, and my lip gloss collection has definitely probably like tripled in size. So I thought it'd be fun to do that and then also do a declutter, maybe do a chopping block video first, because actually I feel like this one might be on my chopping block. I really liked it when I first got it and I wore it a lot, but I feel like I'm trying other lip gloss formulas right now that I just love so much more. So let me know if you'd want to see that video, because also what would be on the chopping block are these from Charlotte Tilbury. This is actually what I have on my lips today. This is in Sexy Lips, and they don't have the name of what these are, which drives me crazy, but I'll have everything linked down below. But I like the packaging. It's nice and slim. I have 2 different shades of this in my collection. I like Sexy Lips the most, but even as I put it on today, I was like, I'm still just like not totally sold on these. They're kind of more of like a gloss stick, but I really like my one from Marc Jacobs a lot more, from Sephora a lot more. Something about these I'm just not as big of a fan of. Maybe it's my shades, and again, I have 2 different shades, but I don't know if I really want to keep these around. They're pretty pricey because they're Charlotte Tilbury, and I do like a lot of her lip products, but these ones just don't get me going as much. And then the last lip product that I grabbed out, this is from Dose of Colors. This was in collaboration with Desi and Katie, and this was in my main. So this is kind of more of like your velvet liquid lipstick, if you will, and I still really like this shade. I still really like the formula. I love Dose of Colors lip formulas. Most of the lip formulas work out for me. Their glosses are another one that I don't love, but really do like this one, so I would definitely be keeping that. So that is everything that I had in my bag for July, and then let me show you my August picks. Okay, so for August, I have gone ahead and shopped my stash here. That is why it is called Shopped My Stash, because I go ahead and do it off camera. My picks for the month, for my primer, I chose the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Face Primer. So this is one that I wanted to pull in because I recently did a video earlier this week. It was all about makeup I was glad I didn't pay full price for. So I've been kind of making this list for a while, you know, just kind of like going back through my hauls and things like that and seeing what worked for me, when did it. And one of the first products I thought of that I was like, oh, I'm glad I didn't pay full price for that because I don't reach for it enough, was this product, but I paid full price for it. So that's a bummer, because I think this was like $30-some, and I like it. I like the primer. I don't really have anything negative to say about it besides I just don't reach for it. I just don't gravitate towards it, and I'm like, why? It has a nice brightening effect to the skin. It smells nice. It feels nice. So I'm like, you know what? I'm putting it in my Shop My Stash because I'm determined to get some more use out of this one because, yeah, that was expensive, and I did pay full price for it. So I want to get some more use out of it. For my foundation, I actually have another one from Charlotte Tilbury. I had pulled out both of them for last month, both of these foundations. I decided to go with the Light Wonder for July, but then when I came back for August, I was like, you know what, I still really want to test this one out again and see if I still want to keep it in my collection, because I really love the Light Wonder, but this one I'm like, But again, from Charlotte Tilbury, this is the Magic Foundation. I have mine in the shade 5 Medium. So it has a pump on it, and this one is a glass bottle, but I haven't used this one in such a long time that I'm like, do I still love it? Do I still want to keep it in my collection? I can't remember. I know that it has more coverage than the Light Wonder that I showed. This one is more like medium. It's a little bit more on the buildable side as well. But I want to try it out again and see what I think of it. So that's the foundation I chose. For my concealer, I chose this one from Milk Makeup. This is the Flex Concealer, and I have the shade Vanilla. So I did a video recently ranking all of my concealers, and this one from Milk was towards the bottom. So I want to give this one more shot, really use it throughout the month, see what I think, and if I don't love it by the end of the month, I'm just going to go ahead and declutter it from my collection. So kind of giving it like one more chance since I ranked it so low. Let's give it another shot. Let's see what I think, but that one might be decluttered at the end of August. For my setting powder, I have this one here from Fenty Beauty. This is just a little mini that I got as, again, like another point perk. This is in the shade Butter. This is the Pro Filter Instant Retouch Setting Powder. Just thought that I'd pull it in. I have actually used quite a bit out of it. I don't know if you can see from the bottom there. I've actually used quite a bit. And this is a product that I like. It's not my absolute favorite product or my favorite like setting powder I've ever tried, but I do think that it's nice. So I thought that it'd be fun to pull this one in here, see how much use I can get out of it and all of that. For my bronzer, I chose out my Tom Ford bronzer. This is definitely my most expensive bronzer. I had this sent to me as a gift, and I'm pretty much like scared to use it because of how luxurious and expensive it is. It literally is like just sitting, when I open my closet, it's just sitting there front and center like, ah. But I'm like, I don't want to use you, I'm so afraid, you know. But I'm like, girlfriend, you like, it's so beautiful, like you should use your Tom Ford bronzer, girl. So I decided to pull it in my shop, my stash, and get some use out of it. Like, I can't be scared of you no more. I'm not scared of you, Tom Ford. I'm gonna use you. I'm gonna use you. Blush, I thought it would be fun to pull in my blush palette from Sigma Beauty. I used to be really into blush palettes, face palettes, but I used to have a ton of blush palettes, especially like those big ones from Tarte even, but I haven't been as into them as much, or face palettes, and I'm trying to focus on individual single shades, minis, especially for blushes. It's so hard to go through them, but I thought, wouldn't it be nice to pull in my Sigma blush palette? I have a lot of different options in here for whatever I need. Again, travel friendly, you have a mirror on it, it'll be a really nice addition to my bag here, and then again, decide, should I keep it around or should I pass it on to someone else that would get more use out of it? Because again, I'm just not going for my palettes as much, so thought it would be nice to try to get a feel for it throughout the month. And then for my highlighter, I actually have a product in here that's in my 9 in 2019 Project Pan. I did an update video last month, in June I think it was, and I talked about how I feel like I'm focusing so much on my Shop My Stash bags that I'm kind of failing a little bit at my Project Pan. And, you know, of course, like the obvious answer is put some of your Project Pan items in your Shop My Stash bag, and that will help you, you know, use them up, because I really do focus on my Shop My Stash bag so much. And so I thought that that's exactly what I'm gonna do for this month. So my highlight is from Colourpop. This is the Flexitarian highlight. Really beautiful highlight, one of my favorites, one that I've recommended so much, one that I'm like genuinely kind of surprised I haven't hit pan in. Truly, I use it as a highlighter, I use it as an inner corner highlight. I think that it's beautiful, it's nice and affordable. So I'm gonna see how much use I can get through it in August, and, you know, hopefully make a little bit of progress for my Project Pan as well. And then for my eyeshadows, I decided to do something a little bit different here. So I have this palette, and I recently did my single shadow declutter, and I decluttered so many of my single shadows, and I kind of made little palettes for myself. I thought about bringing in my Makeup Geek palette that I chose, but I actually did Makeup Geek single shadows in my, I think it was my first ever Shop My Stash video back in January, so I wanted to switch it up a little bit. So this is the palette that has my Colourpop single shadows in here, and I thought that these would be fun. Oh, and I also wanted to do this because I wanted to include this contour shade. I have the Tom Ford bronzer, but I'm also going to include this contour shade, which is from Makeup Forever, and I had pretty much forgotten about this because I had put it in a palette with my single shadows, and then I'd never reached for my singles, so this was getting so neglected. This is S112 from Makeup Forever, and it's a really nice contour shade, so that's also a part of my Shop My Stash, but then so are the shades in here. I will go ahead and list out all the different shades down below because it takes me so long to pull out each of the single pans to look at all the names, so I will go ahead and list them down below in this order here. But like I said, I will also be using this tomorrow for my get ready with me video, so I'm excited about that. If you haven't seen my declutter yet, I will definitely link it down below. It is ruthless. There is a lot decluttered in there. These are two new blushes from Colourpop. These aren't necessarily a part of the Shop My Stash, just the contour is, but these are the two new blushes, Lunar Has It and I Need Space, from in collaboration with Kathleen Lights. So I just kind of popped those in there, and to have this be kind of like just a nice little travel palette for me. It has a really good mirror in here too, so I'm excited about that. We'll see how it goes. I had a lot of people also suggest, you know, again, like doing my single shadows in a Shop My Stash, so that's what we're gonna do there. For my mascara, I have the NARS Climax, basically just to finally use it up. I know that I've had this open for such a long time, and I know that it's probably getting real down there, but it's such a nice mascara. I just need to use it up and then repurchase another one. I just gotta do it. One of my favorite mascaras, one I definitely recommend, so I want to use that one up. For my eyeliner, I like to just throw an eyeliner in here just to have it. This is from Neutrogena, one of their Kohl eyeliners in brown. I actually have this on my waterline today because I didn't feel like the blue eyeliner would really go with this look. And this is a really nice eyeliner and very affordable. You can find Neutrogena at Target, you know, CVS, Walmart. I mean, it's good and it's affordable, so that's awesome. For my brow, like I mentioned, I don't have a lot of brow pencils that get neglected in my collection. I tend to repurchase and use up the same ones, but this is a new one that I just got sent to me, so not really like I shopped my stash for this, but like, oh, this is a new one, let me test it out really consistently throughout the month and I can give a review on it. So this is from Wander Beauty. This is their Frame Your Face Micro Brow Pencil. I have the shade Taupe, which I hope won't be too light for me, but you have product on one end that is kind of like a Precisely My Brow and then a little spoolie on the other side. So I have never tried it. Tomorrow will be the first time when I do my Get Ready With Me and we will see what I think, but I'm excited to try that one out. And then for my, oh, I also included another eye product in here. This is from MAC. This is one of their Dazzle Shadow liquids. This is in Love Yourself. I just thought a glitter shade would be fun to include. There's like girls outside my window taking photos and I'm like, are you taking photos of me? Taking photos of me? Not taking photos of me. They're taking photos of themselves and they're very cute. Oh, she's got pink tips in her hair. Go girl. I'm distracted. Anyways, I just thought this would be a fun addition to some of those shadows in there, or maybe someday I'll just want to do the glitter or something like that. I thought it would be fun to pop that in there. And then finish it off with my lip products. I wanted to do another Project Pan item. So this is the MAC lipstick in Honey Love. So this is just a really like a light nude lipstick, but it's quite nice. And then I thought that I could include this lip liner here. This is in Chestnut, which is a really deep brown, but I think that it pairs kind of cool with lighter shades. I wouldn't think so at first, but I've actually done this combo earlier in the month. I've also done Chestnut with Sephora No Regrets. I've also done it with another gloss, an Urban Decay gloss, I think in Fuel. I don't know, something about the dark brown. Like I think I'm finally starting to get into that 90 lip look, but I thought it would be a fun one to pull in. And then I also grabbed out a lip topper. This is from Jouer in Skinny Dip. So I've had these for a while and I wasn't always the biggest fan of them, but I think it was mostly because I was in that time of like, I'm not really into lip glosses, lip toppers. I was really into just like straight matte lips, but now I'm more into glosses and like, dang, look at that lip. That is, oh, that is crazy. I thought this could be a fun option. Maybe it would go with these, or maybe I would just do this on its own or with another lipstick or something like that. But I don't know, I thought I would try them again just because I didn't have like the greatest things to say in the past, and now that my makeup preferences have kind of changed a little bit, I'm like, why not give it a shot and see what I think. But after that, that's everything that I chose out for my August Shop My Stash. Again, make sure to tune in tomorrow. I'll be doing a chatty Get Ready With Me using all of these products, and I'll have my wrap up at the end of the month. But I would love to know what you thought of my reviews from July, what I chose out from August. Let me know your thoughts in the comments, and as always, if you guys did enjoy this video, I hope that you'll give it a thumbs up. I hope that you also consider subscribing before you go, and I will see you in tomorrow's video.